Welcome to this program where we will visit the Times Square Church in New York City. We will travel on Google Earth from Oslo to New York City.
We are now coming in on Google Earth viewing the Manhattan skyline. We can see the Manhattan skyline, and two ships are sailing where the Hudson River ends.
We now want to find the famous Church of David Wilkerson. New York City was a brutal city in the 60s with dangerous gangs fighting in the streets and parks, making life dangerous for other citizens and troubling the police. Then one of the gang leaders, Nicky Cruz, became Christians and so much started to change the city.
Many young people depended on drugs and alcohol got a new life, and the organization Teen Challenge was founded.
But how shall we find a church among all these skyscrapers? It is far down to the streets. Times Square Church is located between Broadway and 51st Street, and a good starting position for our search will be to start directly in Times Square. So we simply jump into the street view of Google Earth, passing through a lot of skyscrapers, and then reaching touchdown.
In street view we have to reach the bubble, that is as close to the church as possible. The red posters are interesting, because just behind it a McDonald's restaurant could be found. And there is one of these very close to the church.
On our way we see the Times Square skyline above us. In a short while we will come direct to the Times Square Church. Thousands of young people afterwards have turned away from drugs all over the world and got a new life as Christians. Times Square Church is one of the most important architecturally distinct buildings in New York City. While the church does not bear a long history, it is associated with the traditions and religion of the people of the New York City. During the 1980s the area was the center for all kinds of illegal and unethical activities like drugs, prostitution, X-rated films, etc., and hence, the pastor thought of opening a church so as to inculcate the feeling amongst people residing there. Times Square Church is one of the chief places of worship for a significant number of the New York population.
They hail from different countries and cultures. This church was originally connected to the Town Hall of New York, and later shifted its base to the Nederlander Theater. However, since 1989, it has had the Mark Hellinger Theater as its base, earlier known as the Hollywood Theater.
Now we have to get back to Times Square. Then we follow the bubbles back again. On our left we can see the poster of a famous Swedish film. Then we know we are in the Winter Garden, and this building is close to Times Square.
New York City does not need these films and theaters anymore, now when they have Times Square Church. The Swedish musicians should understand that.
Having found back, we will head for Norway again. We simply leave the New York skyline and return to Oslo.
Thanks for watching. And God bless.
This film was brought to you by the Bible Knowledge International Net in Norway.